So if you guys clicked on this video, you already know resell is life, or you want to get into that lifestyle. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Shroy from Just Another Style channel. And today's video is going to be on how to resell this brand right over here, the #1 hypebeast brand out there. And if you want to cash in from these hypebeasts, or you just want to make a little side hustle, and if you're not about that side hustle, you're not about reselling, you hate resellers, it's part of the game, get used to it. If you're not with it, you're against it, I really don't care. It is what it is. So if you want to make a little extra side money selling Supreme, I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks on how to do it today. I am from Canada, that means I'm gonna do some tips and tricks for all you Canadians out there that want to resell this brand, that are stuck with items or don't know which items to purchase that are gonna actually resell on the Canadian market. I'm gonna give tips and tricks out there for that as well. So stick around and let's get right into this video. The first tip I have for you guys out there is be mindful of conversion, shipping, and duties, especially if you're a Canadian buyer. Don't get caught up with the hype items, so to speak. Just because they might be hype in an American market doesn't mean they always have a certain resale value when it comes to the Canadian market, because after duties, conversion, taxes, and all that taken into consideration, your profit margin is going to be very slim to none for some items. So be very mindful of what you buy, because it does factor into how much money you're going to make or how much money you're actually going to lose off a particular item. I'm talking from experience. So one example I can give you guys is the Supreme Lacoste drop. The crew neck was considered hype, especially in the pink colorway was hype. J-Preem posted it, Supreme Leaks posted it. It was one of the fastest items to sell out, but after conversions and taxes, I paid $275 Canadian. Now that's a lot of money, so that actually gave me a little room to actually resell it, because it wasn't really a super hyped item. It wasn't a box logo or anything like that. So it did factor into the fact that not a lot of people were willing to dish out $300 or anything on top of $275 for a Supreme Lacoste crew neck. The collab might have been considered hype, but it wasn't hype enough to make a lot of money off of. If you purchase this item in store, perhaps you could have actually flipped it for like a $30-40 on top, because you wouldn't have to worry about shipping and all that other nonsense attached to it. So if it's not a super hyped item, leave it for the in-store drops and don't worry about it unless it's for your personal collection. Okay, so tip 2 ties into tip 1. If you're stuck with an item that's not really reselling out there, or people aren't willing to pay that much, you have 2 options. You can either sell it for below retail, so you can cut your losses and then hope to make it up later on with more drops and actually learn from your mistakes and not repeat it again. Or you can do this method, which is basically taking an item such as this headband right here. This is from the Supreme North Face collab. After Canadian conversion, this came up to about $120. So you could do the following. People might not be willing to pay $120 for this, but people are willing to pay $10 for this. Now you're confused, right? What you can actually do is set up Instagram account, or actually go on your local Facebook group for Reselling Supreme. For me, is Reselling Toronto. Get in touch with the admins if you want, and you can actually do the following. Raffle off this item. Raffle it for $10 an entry. Set it to, let's say you want to make $120, so you want to break even. 12 entries at $10 a piece, or if you want 24 entries at $5 a piece. Or if you want to make a profit, you could do 30 entries at $5 a piece. Now, someone's going to be willing to pay $5 for a chance to win this, right? The likelihood of someone paying $5 to purchase this item here is probably going to be a lot higher than you trying to get this resold for $120. Because when people know that items aren't selling, or they've been stuck for a while, and you're trying to bump it up to the top of those Facebook posts, or you're not getting rid of it and you're dropping prices, they're going to try and bargain with you and try to get a better deal, and you're trying to get your money back. So you might just cut your losses and be like, you know what, I'd rather get something rather than nothing. But try this route. You don't have to raffle it off at the end of the day if all your slots aren't filled. When running a raffle, it's important to be honest with your customers, so don't scam them, don't rip them off. Actually promise what you're delivering. So if you're doing $5 entries and you're saying 30 slots, be honest, don't lie to them. And if you're doing two entries per person max, be honest with it, don't lie. Make sure your rules are fair and set up so you're not scamming people and people actually want to participate and do it again and again if you do it in the future, because it is going to come to bite you in the ass if you do screw over your customers. So do the raffle route if your piece is not selling. If you have a bunch of pieces lying around, bundle them up together, do a big giveaway, and just cut your losses and try to break even at least, you know, because people might be thinking with a reseller mind as well. So if someone purchased this for $5, they might be like, you know what, no harm done, I'm not going to use this, so I'm going to try and flip it for $50. They made $45 off of it. you cut your losses, everyone's happy at the end of the day. You know, it's like a win-win situation. People that lost $5 or $10 aren't really crying at the end of the day because it's not a lot. It's not $120, it's just $5 to $10. They're willing to enter in a giveaway kind of raffle situation, and they knew they were gonna lose it at the end of the day. They had a 1 in 30 chance. So that's the second option you guys have. Third tip I have for you guys is what to do with your stickers. So if you're copying Supreme for your personal collection and you're not sticking it on your laptop, these have just piled up over time. You get 2 box logos usually per drop, and if it's like a collab drop, you might get a specialty sticker in there. Basically in Canada, you can sell these for like $5 a piece, or specialty stickers you can probably sell for a little more. Bundle it together, sell them off. If you just have a lot accumulated, you don't know what to do with it. People are willing to buy box logo stickers or just any specialty stickers that they might have missed out on. Special box logo stickers obviously go for a lot more. There are people out there that collect Supreme stickers, so it is a market to get into, and it might be a little bit of money, but you might be making some money. And if you're that reseller that does not give all the stickers to your customer, it's a good way to make a little bit of money. I know it's cheating your customer, but at the end of the day, if that's what you're doing, you could sell these on the side, make a little more money. It's not the most honest way, but if that's you, sell these off, put a little more money in your pocket. $5, $10 here and there adds up over time. The fourth tip I have for you guys is pretty obvious and self-explanatory if you know what Supreme is. It's go for hype pieces. And by hype pieces, I don't mean like whatever drops on Jpreme or Supreme Leaks and it's like top 6 pieces to sell out. I'm not referring to those pieces. I'm talking about these ones right here. That's right. The box logos, the celebrity collabs, and some really good accessory pieces that drop. So what recently dropped was the Supreme money gun and even the Supreme brick, which actually was a killer to actually ship in, but that actually resold. Even the keychain knife, which was actually one of the cheapest things from the drop, but had a high resale value. So keep in mind, small accessories like that are going to sell out, actually add up and have a lot of hype built to it. Buy those. But for a fact, if you want to get into reselling, you know for a fact that box logos and celebrity tees are probably the best way to get a return on your dollar, and they're gonna be the highest reselling pieces that you have. So this piece right here in Canada averaged for about $360 to $450, and it cost $112 Canadian after shipping, duties, and taxes all included. It was $112. In the US, it was like 58 bucks. But you know, it adds up after conversion and all that. So $112 that you put in of your money, and you're making $460 on the high end, $350 on the low end. If you're really low, you let it go for $300, which is still a lot of money. You made almost $200+ off one t-shirt, and it took 5 minutes of your time if you were lucky enough to get it, and you just have to meet up with someone, sell it to them, end of the day. If you're shipping it out to them, even better. You don't have to meet them in person. You're literally just shipping it out. Even if that's what, $15, $20 for shipping, soft. You made over $200 for 5 minutes of your time. Great investment. So always go for those celebrity tees, box logos, and hype accessories. So by hype accessories, once again, I mean things that people are going to resell for sure, or are thinking of copying, or are popping up all over the place. Money gun, for instance, key knife, Supreme beach towel, the beaded door thing, curtain that did not drop. Unfortunately, it got rescheduled, but things like that do resell. So be mindful of what you're purchasing in the accessories department, and be mindful of those 2 items and when they're dropping, because they will resell and you will make money off of it. The fifth tip I have for you guys is pretty self-explanatory, but keep a track of how much money you're spending and how much profits you're making, how much losses you've made, etc., etc. So make an Excel spreadsheet. Basically what I do is I write down what item I've purchased, I write down how much I've purchased it for, and I've wrote down how much I've sold it for. And then I calculate the profit and loss of each piece. I add it up, so I know exactly how much off of each drop I've actually profited and actually how much I've lost. And then I write beside it when I've sold the piece, which piece is about to sell and which piece is not being sold yet. So that way you're keeping track of all your pieces, you have a track of the money and where it's going and where it's coming, and you actually have an idea if you're making money, if you're not making money. That way you know if reselling is for you or not. Because if you constantly making bad decisions, you're not making a profit, you're only flipping it for $5 extra, yeah, it might look like you're getting a lot of money, because if you spent $120, you're getting back $125. You might be thinking, yo, I got $125, but in reality, the $120 was yours to begin with. You made $5, you wasted your time. You could have better invested your time in something else. A minimum wage job is like $11.40 an hour over here. So does it really equate your time? That's what really matters. At the end of the day, reselling in general, there has to be some time compensation and value to it. If you're investing too much time and your returns are lower than a minimum wage job, personally speaking, you wasted your time. You could have better invested it. You could have just got a part-time job. But a resell is life. Make sure you're keeping a track of your income, how much you're actually making off of each item, and all that good stuff, because at the end of the day, it's all about the profit when it comes to reselling. Sixth tip I have for you guys, once again, pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you're joining your local Supreme trading groups or selling and reselling groups. Make sure you're on Grailed, and make sure eBay has a lot of fees attached to it, but you can all be on eBay as well. And also make an Instagram account. If you're reselling a lot of items and you're constantly purchasing Supreme, make sure to make an Instagram account, post your items there. You can accumulate followers over time. You can always follow people off of Jpreme, Supreme, people will comment under all those things, and you can make an account. There's a lot of resellers out there. You're not going to be the only reseller out there. Let's face it, reselling is a very saturated market. A lot of people are doing it these days. I'm just making it useful to put some tips out there for you guys that might not know the tricks of the trade yet, or not have an understanding of how to actually resell. So make those accounts, get used to it, posting your items regularly on there. Make sure you update those constantly when items are sold, so you don't basically annoy customers and make them think that they're bidding on an item that's still available, that's sold over time. So make sure you update it, write sold, or remove the posting once it's gone. But those are some helpful ways to actually make people aware of what pieces you have and what your inventory is, so you can move it quicker. And the final tip I have for you guys, I actually forgot what number I'm on, but the final tip I have for you guys is, if you have a Supreme store in your local city and you're lining up for drops anyways, make sure to start doing proxies. Proxies is basically you purchasing an item on someone's behalf, shipping it out to them for a fee. Basically, it's a little less than what the resale market is, but you could start proxying for individuals and you're making a small income off of it. You're already standing in line if you are in those cities and you are purchasing Supreme for your own collection or reselling. But if you're not getting pieces that are for resale and someone else wants it, you could post a list of the specific items and be like, does anyone want this, this, or this? I'm willing to proxy it and send it over to you, and you might make some money off that too. So you might not be making that high income, but you're making it for just doing what you're already doing. You're already there. You're just basically the middleman who drops it off to the post office on their behalf and ships it out to them, and you made a small profit off of it. Didn't take up too much of your time, and you made money. At the end of the day, it's a win-win for both of you. The person got the piece they were looking for a little less than the resale market, and you got some profit for just standing in line and buying your own Supreme stuff that you were going to get anyways. Alright, so those are my tips and tricks on how to resell Supreme. Remember that at the end of the day, you're not the only reseller out there. Everyone's trying to make a little bit of money on the side. That's their hustle too. It's not your only side hustle out there. It's a lot of people's. Make sure you're actually putting at a reasonable price, because at the end of the day, the goal is to move the piece and make a profit. It's not to get stuck with that item and have it there sitting there with all your money invested into an item that's not going to be there, that's probably not even in your size, and that's not even going to move. So make sure you're being fair, equitable out there, so you're making money and keeping everyone happy, and that way you get repeat customers too, and that's always good for your business and for their hype. So that's it. So if you're new to this channel, thank you guys for watching this video, and to my regular viewers and subscribers out there, appreciate the love so far. Even though I haven't posted videos in 2 months, you guys still rode out with me. My subscriber count actually went up. Exam season is finally over. My busy semester is done, so hopefully I'll be putting out more videos for you guys. I still like to do YouTube. It's not that I don't like it, it's just that I got busy with books and school, and I just want to keep my grades up and then devote my attention to you guys after, when it's actually free, and not make half-assed videos where I don't put in a lot of time into editing it or even the content I'm putting out there. So I'd rather put out what I consider is quality content and actually enjoyable to watch, rather than just rush a video out there to make weekly uploads when I'm not really into it. And before I end off the video, I want to give you guys a song of the vid. If you're new, you don't know what this is. To you guys that have already watched my videos, you know what it is. I basically put you guys onto a song that I'm listening to or have listened to. You guys might know it, you guys might not know it. I'm just trying to put you guys onto what I'm listening to at the moment, and it's always off my SoundCloud list usually, one day I will invest and actually get a Spotify account and maybe make a Spotify list, which is called a song in a vid, and actually just keep them all categorized down there and have like a consistent theme, or keep a playlist and have it constantly updated and just link it at the end. But anyways, before I get off topic, this song in a bit is going to be Ed Sheeran, Shape of You with the Yxng Bane remix. If you haven't known or you haven't heard of Yxng Bane, listen to the Shape of You Yxng Bane remix. If you like it, let me know down in the comments below. If these tips were helpful, let me know down in the comments below. If you're a reseller or if you're about that life, you know where it is. Leave it down in the comments below. You hate reselling? What's your opinion on reselling? All down below. Comment, like, share, and subscribe, guys. Thank you guys once again, and I'll see you guys next time.